Look at him, he's a liar. What? You made it!
You said D2 once all the way there.
I know, and then when I went to D, there's some stupid presentation going on.
Yeah, we saw the presentations, they told us they went to this one, so we came in.
Some presentation with the science students. I thought the science students did their presentation already. Not as good as the physics presentations, I'm sure. Hey, Omar! Why the heck did you not do physics and you did a biology topic?
I thought it would be easier for the English teachers to understand my topic.
No,
That would make it harder for you.
Yeah, screw the English teachers.
Because there are more information to talk about.
No.
It's not if they feel that the topic is complicated.
I'm not hungry.
They should have the presentation.
Can you chew gum during Ramadan? No? I know these.
You want?
They're not that nice.
It's so nice. The best.
The best? I feel sorry for you if you think that's the best. You like them, be quiet.
You're not good at taste. I'm a professor.
Yes, sure.
You're a professional taster.
Yeah.
Yes? Let me see.
Is your tongue insured?
Huh?
Do you know the name for a professional taster?
Yeah, they're called taster.
Not really.
Depends on what they taste.
Restaurant food.
No, that's not food like that.
Go on.
Yeah.
The word you want is food critic.
Yeah, food critic.
Yeah.
Food tester.
Not food tester, no. Because food tester makes it sound like the food is tested on you, like an experiment, you know. Will this kill him? Let's see. Alright. I have a couple more to do. I think last time I did something like number 3 or something. Let's make it a little bit harder now. Let's do 17. I'd like you to write it down. I'm going to do 17 here. Can you see 17, please? I'm going to do this one as another example. Faisal! Smell that fish from here.
No.
Kind of stinky. You know you're supposed to keep that in the fridge, don't you?
Not mine.
How? When did you buy that? Yesterday. Has it been in the fridge since yesterday? Please tell me it has. You kept fish from yesterday not in the fridge.
I feel like I'm going to vomit.
That's what you get for killing snails.
Guys, that fish stinks. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to ask you to put that in the bin. It's gone bad.
Really?
Yes.
I can't just run the...
It stinks. I'm sorry. Outside the class, yes, yes.
If you die, it should be funny.
what?
The fish, he's not going to die, don't worry. It smells terrible, I'm sorry. I don't think you should continue eating it. Are you okay, Tuan? You see, this is what happens when you eat bad fish.
No.
But it's fat, it's not fish.
Okay, look. What you can do is you either eat it all now so that it's in your stomach,
Yes,
or you take it out.
yes. You're...
Keep that away from you.
It doesn't smell good.
No, my fault.
Not in the class. I don't smell anything.
Yeah, it's
I don't. Doesn't matter to me.
Can you, if you put it in your bag, can you at least close your bag?
Oh, okay.
And I highly recommend putting it in a fridge as soon as possible.
Okay.
Because, you know, there's nothing tastier than day-old fish.
Only for you.
Thank you. Yeah, good call on the crabs. Lidl special offer?
What?
Lidl special offer?
Yeah.
Yes. How much for the pack?
How much?
Not right.
Over 69.
Magically, when you said it, now it's deadly. Before you say anything, it was all fine.
What?
The thing what she ever ate. Now she's going to die because you said it smells bad. You didn't say
Yeah.
anything, you said
No,
perfectly fine.
it's yours.
Mine? You
The-
were talking
Yeah.
before.
Wait, hang on. The smell of the fish. Yeah, the smell of the cologne. Ah,
Because it is too much.
too much. Do you need to move? Oh my goodness.
Why do we have a girl in our classroom? Go sit next to the window.
No,
Yeah, you want
no.
to move to the window.
Don't bring the fish to
Let's continue and be strong. All right. Did you write this one down? Oh my goodness. It's cultural differences. In different cultures, different smells have different effects.
No, I
So
can't
obviously in
smell
an Asian culture, bad fish smells okay.
Throw these, throw.
Oh no, I'm just making that up.
that. But it's true.
Huh?
No, not bad. The smell of the fish.
Good smell.
Yeah.
Okay.
It means
You know the
it
story about the
means have a
blind
lot
man?
of fish.
No, I don't.
Who
No,
walked
no,
into the
no,
fish
no.
market?
What?
You know this.
What?
Ladies.
Dudes.
I'm sorry, it just came out.
Dudes. Right, did you write this down? We'll try and get some compound angles done and move away from the filth. Would be great. Sine A equals 3/5 and cos B equals 5/13. You got that? So we have sine A equals 3/5 and then cos B equals 5/13. Now, what does cos A equal? Who can spot what that is?
5/3. No. It is 1 minus 15 over 5/13.
So waiting for the answer. Cos A?
Oh.
Thank you. But there's a plus or minus. Now, I said last time, knowing the sign is not enough to know the angle, because there's two answers. But I want to give you another reason why there's a plus or a minus. Do you remember this formula? Cos squared A plus sine squared A equals 1. Do you remember that? Yeah? So, you could say cos squared A equals 1 minus sine squared A. When you square root, you have a plus or a minus. So this is the reason why as well you have the two answers. Cos A equals plus or minus 4/5. And sine B?
Plus or minus 5/4.
I don't, I'm just calculating it so I can have it. What is it? Yes, Faisal?
Plus or minus,
Yes,
I said 5/4.
that would be
Wrong.
wrong. Quite wrong.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, you know what this was. Yes, 12/13. Now, what do I want to calculate first? I want cos A plus B if A and B are acute. So cos A plus B, that will be, do you remember the formula? Cos A,
Cos B
yeah?
minus sin A sin B.
Now, in case 1, A and B are acute. So in the circle, if both A and B are acute, then what is positive and what is negative? Well, they're all positive. Cos A, sin A, cos B, sin B, they're all positive if they're acute. So that's nice and easy. That's just going to be, where's cos A gone? 4/5 times 5/13 minus 3/5 times 12/13. That's 20 minus 36. 20 minus 36 is minus 16/65. Now that's interesting because that's negative. So if that's negative, then what do we know about the angle A plus B?
It is not in the first.
It can't be in the first quadrant because it should be positive. So A plus B is in which quadrant? Who can tell me which quadrant A plus B is in?
2 or 3?
No.
4.
No.
No, it can't be in the 4. 4 has to be positive. Wait.
Could you have like a fifth quadrant? Maybe like if you
Where were you?
like if you go full
Yeah,
circle
yeah.
and then
Yeah, but still
I have no idea how to answer that because you know the word quadrant means quarter, so it's like you just asked me, could you take a cake and cut it into 5 quarters?
It's in the second.
It has to be in the second quadrant because it's negative, and because A and B are acute, the most they could be is like 90 and 90. So
No, 89 and 89.
yeah, I suppose 89.999. So you will always be just about in the second quadrant at most, or at worst I should say. So A plus B will be somewhere in this quadrant. And it cannot be in the first quadrant because this should be positive if it was in the first quadrant. Okay. Can you try the next one for me? It's the same question except, hang on, let me just sort of box these. That's sine, that's cos, that's sine. The next one I want you to try is if A is acute and B is reflex. A acute and B reflex. Yeah, but calculate. Look, your book's not even open. Will you calculate, please?
Can I see the question?
How are we doing with this one?
Q is this kind of this.
Acute is less than 90.
can you go back to
Acute is 0 to 90. Oh, you've got everything. Under. Yes, and obtuse is the left, as you say. Lee. Got the answer?
it's the same.
Is it the same? Is it? Okay, let's see. So what's cos A? 4/5 or minus 4/5? Well, first we have to decide which quadrant it's in. So the A is still acute, yeah? And the B is reflex. Which quadrant is the B in? T or C?
B is the reflex? Could be in.
Yeah, it could be both. So it's
Or, what is it?
Has to be C. It has to be C because the cos of B is a positive.
Oh, B, okay.
okay.
Dudes, I know what I'm saying, okay?
Okay, so
Okay.
it's the same.
I know I screwed up the dipole earlier, but please, still trust me on some things. Right, so is it the same? Well, let's see. Cos A will be positive, and sine A will be positive. But what will be different now is the B here. The sine of B will be negative, because only the cos is positive. So we have to use the negative one now this time. So, will it be the same, Yusuf? No, because we have cos A, which is 4/5, cos B, which is 5/13, and sine A, which is still 3/5. But now, sine B will be minus 12/13. So this time we get 20 plus 36, 56 over 65. Now interestingly, because it's positive this time, which quadrant is A plus B in? Well, it can only be in the first quadrant or the fourth quadrant, because that's where they're both positive. Can we know which quadrant it is in? Well, I don't know if we can. A has to be between 0 and 90, and B has to be between 270 and 360. So when you add them together, you get A plus B has to be between 270, which is good, that's the third quadrant, or less than 450. And once it goes past 360, it's back in the first quadrant. So I don't know which quadrant A plus B is in. It could be the first one or the fourth one. The only way I could know is if I calculate the A and the B and add them together and see for myself. I have a feeling it probably fell back into the first quadrant.
Do you need to mention a quadrant?
No. I'm just trying to get us thinking more about quadrants, that's all. Okay, good. I think we're getting a handle on it now. Can you try C now? An obtuse and an acute. How are we doing? Got an answer? Great. So, if A is obtuse and B is acute. So now for number 3. A is obtuse, so it must be here. And now B is acute. So that means it's here. Yeah? Yeah, go ahead, yeah. Fish order. Right, let me see. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so here. So, this time, do we choose positive or negative for cos A? Negative. And for sine B, positive or negative? Positive. Because it's in the first quadrant. So only cos A is negative, so this time you get minus 4 over 5 times 5 over 13 minus 3 over 5 times 12 over 13. Minus 56 over 65. Very good. One more now, and then I think we have a good understanding of this. Can you do for me an obtuse and a reflex now? You okay? The fasting is difficult. What's fasting? Fasting is when you don't eat food between sunrise and sunset.
It's what we do.
It's what he's and him and him. And Lee?
No, Lee, no.
Exactly. So they have to go, what's it, 19 hours?
And a half.
19 and the half is important because the last half an hour is the hardest.
Not drinking.
No eating or drinking.
My friend said.
Or smoking.
My friend said not eat, not drink, not smoke, and not sex.
Yes, but don't worry, the last one's not happening, regardless of Ramadan. Sorry, that was a bit inappropriate. Just ignore that I said that. I just couldn't resist. Bad teacher. Bad! Right, we got the last one done. Who's your friend that told you this?
September.
Ah, which one?
Name.
Adnan.
Adnan. Which Adnan?
Adnan.
Engineering Adnan.
Engineering.
The Adnan from engineering?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Yeah, it would seem like he'd say something like that, yes. Huh? They're speaking in Arabic, I'm sure. No chewing gum. I don't understand this though, because you're not swallowing the chewing gum.
You can't have anything you can't
No,
taste.
you can taste.
What about
No.
what about tasteless chewing gum?
No.
I'm pushing the interpretation as much as possible. Flavorless chewing gum?
But why would you do it? You just make yourself more hungry if you're chewing it gum.
Would you know? Sometimes I feel like when you chew gum, you're less hungry because you're doing something, filling up on air. Okay. Just trying to help. That's all. All right. Got this? Are you still going to the gym? That's a no.
Yeah. Because my subscription finished when I was there, so I didn't renew it.
Yeah. Wait till after Ramadan, probably.
Yeah. I'm not planning to wait until after Ramadan. Just trying to settle my timings first. Because I'm going back home, I'm sleeping until when we start eating, start, and then I stay up until 2 or 3 until I can have the last meal of the day, then sleep again and wake up at 7. I'm sleeping enough in a day, but my timing is not proper.
Yes.
It's fine. Strong boy.
You'll survive. You'll survive. All right. Have we got this one now? An obtuse and a reflex. An obtuse? No, the reflex. Which quadrant? 3 or 4? Hmm? Oh yeah, but which quadrant for the B? Which quadrant for the B? Well look, cos B is positive, so it has to be in here. Yeah, okay, so what's do we have now? This is cos A. What's cos A? Plus or minus for cos A? Minus, yeah, very good. And then we have cos B, which is always plus, 5 over 13. And then we have minus, and then we have sine A, which is 3 over 5. And then finally sine B, positive or negative? Negative. So that's a positive then. Is that right?
Swine.
Is it?
Yeah.
16 over 65.
Alright, so this would be 16 over 65. Oops. Great, okay. Are we alright with that now? This is a common question for like a short sort of section A question. Maybe like 4 marks. Oh no, just for 1.
Oh.
So it's alright question. It's good. Especially if you just draw the triangle at the start. Okay. Now, 19A. All good?
we're doing 19A, right?
I want you to write it down, and then I'm going to ask you now if you have any ideas on how to simplify it. Are you begging for money? What's up?
No, I'm just...
I don't have any loose
I was
change.
breaking it up to see what I wrote under it, but like...
And then it looks like you got stuck.
Yeah.
Alright, now does anyone have any ideas here? Because the problem is we can't add them together because one is a cos and one is a sine. This is basically the problem. 3 cos A plus 4 sine A. Thank you.
But they're both 8, so we can use the triangle, can't we?
What triangle?
We draw a right angle triangle, and then all of the sides is at 8.
One of the angles is
One
an
of the
A.
angles, yeah.
Okay.
And we know the other angle is a 90.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really help
It doesn't.
Use it.
That statement is way too general. Give me something particular.
Cos squared.
Divide by cos A? Nope.
No, cos
There's
squared.
no equal sign.
Use cos squared.
Nice.
Sine.
Yeah, nice try, but there's no squares here.
That's an expression.
Yeah, and then rearrange.
But how? There's no
Can't
equal
rearrange,
sign.
there is no equal sign, it's an expression. You can't do this.
Yeah, there's nothing to square.
Yeah, I mean rearrange
Yeah.
Rearrange it to what?
the cos squared and change it and give the sine or cos and the cos sine cos A cos A sine
Yeah, but what would
and then it's cos there and minus cos
You're close.
Oh,
You are the closest, but you're not right.
what about divided by equal?
There's no equal sign.
What did you say?
He suggested putting in a cos 0.
Plus the cos A. So it's
Plus.
and minus.
Ah.
Yeah, and then factorize.
Good. I like it, but no, not what I wanted. I like it. No, I do like it. You can do it that way, see what happens. I do like it. But this is what happens. So, firstly, I'll put in a 5 and then take out a 5.
Oh.
Yeah, hold on to your seats now. Okay, now hang on a second. Now, if you have your calculator, I want you to calculate cos 53.13 degrees. Give it to me as a decimal. It should be roughly 0. What? Sorry, here you go, wrong.
Is this the angle when they're both equal?
No, just calculate it. What is cos at this angle? 0.6 or 3 over 5. So is it right for me to replace this with this? Well, yeah, because it's the same value.
Okay.
That is the same thing as that. Have you got a calculator?
Yeah, but just looking at it, 3 over 5 times cos A is not cos 53.8.
3 over 5 is, well, I'm not finished writing yet. So then the next thing is cos A. Plus, and if you type in sine 53.13, you will get 0.8.
Which is 4 over 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've done two tricks here. I have taken out a 5 to make fractions here, and I've changed those fractions into sines and coses. But why? What have I ended up with? Well, I've ended up with the right-hand side of one of my compound angle formulas. Let me just actually write it like this. Cos A, cos 53.13 plus sine A, sine 53.13. And if we think about A as A and B as 53.13, what have I written down here?
Cos A plus 53 from...
Cos A minus.
Yeah.
So I have simplified this down into this expression. I've taken the sine and the cos and I've reduced it to just a cos. So the real question is now, how did I know to take out 5? Yes? Go on, Lee, how did I get the 5? I draw a triangle. Yeah?
What did I say in the beginning?
Sorry, no. Draw a triangle. Firstly, the only part of that you got right was that it's a right angle triangle, because the A is not in this triangle. So you draw a triangle, and you make the adjacent trig and the opposite 4, and the hypotenuse is 5. You use this number there, and this number there, and the hypotenuse is what you take out.
So it's
Also,
in that order?
huh?
This is always in that order?
Yeah.
This one goes.
No, well, I'm putting the
sine?
the cos one with the adjacent and the sine one with the opposite. But in fact, if you did it some other way, you'll get a different answer that's valid. That's right. Now, if you look at this angle, if you calculate this angle using tan inverse 4 over 3, you will get 53.13. And when you take out your calculator and do sine 53.13, you will get 4 over 5. And likewise cos will give you 3 over 5, which is exactly the things you want to replace in the next line. So in other words, the key, there's a key for you, is that triangle. Now this is a little bit advanced, but it's a useful technique, because in the exam, when you do the trigonometry in the exam, some of the questions require some tricky use of trigonometry rules to simplify equations and expressions. So this is what I mean by something kind of tricky, because you wouldn't really have guessed this yourself. Lee had a good guess. Did your answer work? Not quite.
I remember the formula.
Yes. Okay, please write this one down. You like tricksy questions. You should like this one.
That's actually no.
Thank you. No, that means a lot to me. It's why I come into work. Well, that and that they pay me, but you know. Okay, did you write it down? Lee, what are you doing?
Well, I was looking at it.
I can smell.
The fish?
No.
The what? The food?
The food.
Food in the canteen. Yeah, because we're beside the kitchen, isn't it? It's okay for you two. You can go eat something now. Oh, you're worried about him. Yeah. It's nice of you.
Fine, I'm strong.
Yeah. Well, look, you'll just have to eat for them. It's double portion. I'm sure Starbucks have seen their sales plummet when Ramadan starts. a huge drop in frappuccinos.
No, actually, not many people like that.
Really? Seems like most of the students here do, though. No? Well, all the engineers are.
Yeah, I'm still free.
Yeah, that's still all of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me put it this way. Which business will see the biggest loss from the engineers fasting? Would it be Starbucks? Yeah, I thought so.
Don't buy anything from there because I have my own coffee.
Tesco.
Yes.
It's a huge drop in granola bar sales. Okay. Please remember this technique. It's a tricky one, but for exam purposes, it is far more common to get one of the earlier questions like these. They love these ones in the exam. But just in case, this is a tricky one you might get in the exam. Okay, we'll wrap it up there.